all day. Now I'm going to do this little quick tutorial on shipping for those of you that have some questions, some people that have some issues of receiving things that have been broken on Whatnot. I've been selling for a long time, not really that long on Whatnot, but I've been selling for many years on eBay. We're not really selling anything tonight. We're just kind of going over shipping techniques and styles and things that we all can collab and questions. Fancy seeing you too, my love. And I'm going to show you guys a way to try to help benefit your business. So if you're not here for that, that's fine. Just stay in the chat and hang out. So I'll have somebody to talk to, but I am going to go over a few things. I know that, Jen was interested. Was it Jen? Or, yeah, I think it was Jen. Maybe it wasn't Jen. Somebody said they were interested last week. Sunkiss, that's who I was thinking about. Thank you, love. I was like, who was it? Was it Jen? Who was it that said they wanted to learn how to do my shipping? Not that you haven't received enough packages from me to kind of already know. But it's always good to kind of see it for yourself and see my reasoning as to why I do what I do and the way that I ship. And I'm still recovering. I went to the Jelly Roll concert, you guys, on Monday, and man, it was killer. It was amazing. Right, Larry? All right, the first example I'm going to use is this really heavy glass, weighs 0.50, which is about 15 ounces or so, and this tiny little dinky thing that probably weighs like 4 ounces, okay? If you put this and this into a box, guess what y'all think is going to happen? Larry with no shirt on. It's hot in here. We refuse to turn the air back on. If you put this in a box with this, I 99.7% guarantee you that this is going to be broken when it arrives to the person. No matter how much bubble you put around it, nothing. This weighs too much to be in a box with this. So in essence, this would be then wrapped. Here's the paper. This is why I had Larry get this, because you guys need to see me from this angle too. So, bring you over here, a little closer. Can you see the shipping table? They said hi, Larry. You didn't even say anything. Huh? They said hi. You didn't even say anything. I gotta log in still. So I would take a piece of paper, okay? And first off, I would fill this void. This is important. This is a very important step. With anything that has a void like this, it needs a piece of paper gently put into that little crevice there. Then I'm going to wrap that piece of paper so it's easy for the person to get it out of there. Then I'm going to take another piece of paper because I'm super anal, and I'm going to wrap it again because it's a very fragile piece. All right? Then it kind of ends up looking something like that. You wrap it like a little burrito. Okay? Then I usually take a piece of Scotch tape and I tap it down, tape the paper down. Then I will take a piece of bubble. This is another key thing. I'm noticing a lot of the resellers that are newer on Whatnot, and no offense to you guys, okay? I'm all about recycling, 1,000%. But if your bubble is about 25% or more deflated and there's not a bunch of like bubbles on here, don't use it to wrap something. Use it as a filler for a box, but do not use it to wrap something because it's not going to protect it. Okay? So I burrito that again. I wrap, I fold, ends up like this. I use not Scotch tape. You need to use packing tape to wrap around this. Okay? You need to wrap it this way and this way because these little sides, look, if they wiggle, bam, you have an opening. So by wrapping both directions, you're preventing this from coming unwrapped at all. You're saving yourself. And you're like, Katie, that's a lot of work for a little bit of money. Yeah, but you get customers that will come back to you every single week, every month, so on and so forth. They're going to come back to you because they know you know what the hell you're doing. So, don't skimp because you think you didn't make enough money. Charge a little bit more. Another way to save Thank you. Don't, my biggest pet peeve is when someone uses, okay, I don't have one of those because I don't use them very often. One of these to put around a box, okay? That is to each their own. If you want to use a USPS, I don't have any poly mailers because we don't use them very often. Poly mailer, put it around something and put it in a box, fine. But make sure it's not moving around inside that box, okay? Hypothetically, I use this, okay? This is going to be my item. Let me see if I have a box already pre-taped. Okay, here's my box that I'm going to use, hypothetically. I'm just going to fold it because I don't want to have to waste the tape. And it's hard to store them. Okay, so here's our box. Okay, this is a box that we chose. Oh yeah, I mean, I do my best. I mean, I can wrap things really well and sometimes they still break. Things are old, they have crazing. It happens, okay? But this is my thing, is when I have something that breaks that comes to my customers, they know that I did everything I could to try to prevent it from breaking. That you know that I didn't half-ass wrap it to get it to you to try to cut corners. So here's my item. I shoved this in here like this. And then I just put another one of these on top, right? So I just go like this. Like, that'll definitely hold it. It'll keep it safe. No. You see this gaping space right here? Yeah, they play indoor soccer. See this gaping space? You cannot have that. Guess what's going to move? It's going to move around in there. Okay? And on top of that too, that allows room for the box to potentially get crushed. Like, it will get crushed. Hence, the football players be crushing the sides of your box. Your box comes and the whole side of your box right here is crushed down. It's because there wasn't enough filling to help support the walls. It's not wood, it's cardboard. So in essence, if this is what you have, by all means use it. Just fill in the space. In my opinion, we pay for these. So they're not cheap. We would never do that unless we didn't have. I mean, occasionally we run out of paper, and sometimes I get a little creative with my packing because sometimes the paper is supposed to be here on Monday. My show's on Thursday. It don't come till the following Saturday. It happens. So there's that. So if we have this little, dinky little thin basket, we would want to put it in. This box was empty, so we're going to use this as an example, okay? I would find a smaller box. Well, this box wasn't empty. Someone had personalized this ornament, so I threw it in the garbage. We're going to take this box, and we're going to put this item inside a recycled box. Bam. Okay? Now, this box that's recycled is going to go down inside this box. Hello. We're doing a little bit of training tonight on shipping. So now we're going to package this item with that one. So then you're going to take this item and do the same thing. Wrap it in paper. You're going to wrap it in bubble. And then you're going to put it in its own box and put it down inside this box too. That way, this is not bam against that and crushing it. Can you do that with all items? Because Whatnot is lovely at bundling too many glass items to one box. Luckily, we do have the option to. That's why it's key not to run a bunch of glass heavy items that don't ship well together in a bundle. So if you guys have noticed, I don't really allow you to bundle a large piece of glass with a really dinky piece of glass. Has anyone in my show that's been here forever with me noticed that I prevent you from doing that? So you have to, as the seller, think about, like, will this ship and pair well together? Will this hurt each other if it's not individually boxed? So on and so forth. So that's an important key thing when choosing what you bundle and what you don't bundle. If you bundle stuff that doesn't ship well together, you're going to hurt yourself because you're going to end up with not enough room in the box to fit everything and not enough room to keep everything safe. Can everybody have obviously this was a recycled box that I have. Not everybody has these, right? But I'll tell you, you go to your local dollar store, your Target. I've got them from Target before, and I literally have boxes upon boxes, you guys. Recycled boxes that like this here. I threw all of these in the garbage, this box right here. But it's got perfect little cubbies for little tiny things. And then I would definitely, this box is not sturdy enough. Now, another key thing that I'm seeing is people using boxes like this to ship things. This box, I can crush it with my hands. It is not sturdy enough. Do you see the thickness of that? That is not thick enough. Do you see how this one has that inner lining? The box doesn't have that, don't use it to ship. It's not safe. It will get crushed and your items will get broken. Where you're like, Katie, what about sending something? I know a lot of people in the world of YouTube says, well, do the bubble wrap method with a bubble bag. Don't ship things that are glass in a bubble bag. It's not going to work out in your favor. Probably 8 out of 10 items are going to arrive broken. Don't do it. It's not it's not worth you losing a customer over. You will definitely lose customers. I have bought things from people on here, and I just won't buy glass from them anymore because I feel like they don't pack it well enough for me. I'll give you 2 strikes. Second strike, I'm done. I won't waste my money, even though Whatnot gives me my money back. I just don't feel it's fair as me, because first off, I'm buying things that are old and I don't want them broken. All right, does anybody have any questions in the chat about the ideas of how to ship anything? Key thing is to kind of, if you can double box stuff and it all fits as double box something if you have the ability to do so, especially when it comes to fragile pieces of glass. Hi, Missy Sue, how are you? We're just doing like a little training session on tips on how to ship things. I don't have any Whatnot orders, so I can't really show you any orders on Whatnot and how to do that. I don't have my glasses on, so if you see me get real close to the screen, it's not because I want you to check out my pores or anything. It's because I didn't put my glasses on and I can't see the small print. Especially the names, they tend to not be as bold. They're like tiny. So another example, jewelry. I remember in my early days, when doing clothing, is it better to set a flat rate or do you guess how much each item weighs when setting a random pool show? So what I would do if I was you for clothing, I don't do a whole lot of clothing. I do a little like plush, which is similar to clothing. Is I would find your heaviest item on your clothing and your lowest weighted item for random pulls on clothing. Just an estimate. Obviously, like logically, jeans, blue jean material tends to weigh more. So I would recommend for you to weigh that item and then weigh the least weight item and then kind of put 2 categories in, like, I'm assuming you're preloading like 100 listings, right? And then just separate it by weight, like 4 to 7 ounces, 15 or a pound. So the key thing with this, anything 15 or less on weight wise, it's going to be ground shipping. So if it's 15 ounces or less, it's automatically going to be ground shipping. You cannot use a flat rate box for ground shipping. So maybe you should set all of your items to at least 14 ounces so that you have the opportunity to change it to a flat rate if needed. Does that make sense? And try not to bundle 15 pieces. Okay, so, all right, let me be right back. Let me go grab 2 pieces of clothing. Luckily, I have some right here. My daughter left her pants down here. Okay, so we have these jeans, randomly pulled. We're going to sell these jeans, okay? They're not really for sale. They're my daughter's. She might get mad at me. So, we're gonna weigh these jeans. It's all right. We're going to explain it again for you. That's why we did this show. So, these jeans weigh 2 pounds, 15 ounces, okay? These jeans would allow you to use a flat rate box, which is very beneficial for you. So I would set these jeans, even though they weigh over 2 pounds, to 1 to 2 pounds. So it allows them to have a little extra room in their box, but you can use a flat rate. Do we got that so far? Okay, so these items here, I can tell you by holding this. This weighs about 4 to 6 ounces. That's the category it would fit in. You have this little dinky item. Say this is like a tank top. This is what I had. 4 to 6 ounces. I would put this at 1 to 3 because it's small, it's thin, and it's going to fit in that box so that they still have extra room in their box. Okay? So you would just set a category for your shipping. Let's see. Larry, bring me your phone. I'm going to show you on his phone if I was going to add it, how I would add it. See if he's listening to me. So I would make these weigh less, this weigh more. You don't want to make everything only like 4 to 7 ounces or something like that, because then you would not meet, what if they only buy these? Say they buy 3 of these. They weigh, 30 is, see my little conversion cart here that I made? So 0.30 pounds is 5 ounces. This weighs 5 ounces, but let's say this weighed 17 ounces, but you set it all to 3 ounces a piece. You wouldn't meet the requirement to make it a flat rate, and you would eat that shipping. Are you making, some people are like, well, just pay the difference, pay the money for the shipping. Well, when you're selling things really cheap and you're a new seller, you don't really want to pay to ship anything to anybody. You know what I mean? Like, if you only made $200 that show because you didn't have the traffic like all the other sellers do sometimes, you would be upset if you ended up selling something and paid $7 to help them ship it because they only paid $3.77 to ship these items because the weight was wrong. So you want to weigh on the caution side. So larger items, make them 1 to 2 pounds. Anything that weighs in the ounces, make them about the one category down than they would fit in. And then all of this would fit in one box safely. And luckily is another thing is don't bundle all of it together, because if you bundle it all together and make the weight less than it all don't fit in that flat rate, you're in trouble. He's going to let me use his phone. Can you log in on my account so I can show him? Do you have any other questions, anybody? There is stuff in my buy it now. I just am not running anything at auction tonight, guys. I'm just answering questions for shipping. I'm kind of hanging out with you guys for an hour or so. And do you mind if I open the garage up too? Because it's hot down here. Yeah. I feel like I've had a couple drinks and I definitely did not have any drinks. And then another thing too is by using individual boxes and putting them inside of another box, sometimes you run out of room for the boxes. So you just have to be mindful of that. But I have this special tool that I love dearly, okay? If you don't have one, I highly recommend it. This little guy right here. This is what it's called. Does anybody own one of these? Well, I gotta get the blade. Hold on. This is the one that's missing its blade. Alright, this is what it looks like with its blade. Does anybody own one of these? I highly recommend for you to get one.
Give me that code, it pops up.
154836. Alright, do you want to see what this does? You grab a box. We're going to use a flat rate box just because that way I'm not wasting my own boxes. Alright, so you have your box. You're going to fold it over like you normally would and you're going to use it. This is not how you always don't, you don't ship a box like that. But you have your box. Say this box, you are not allowed to reshape a flat rate box. Let's just get that out there right now. I'm just using this as an example box, okay? Because it didn't cost me any money. And I'll just use it as scrap later. So, you take this, say your box needs to be shorter, you score the sides of the box, you take your blade cutter, you cut the side of the box, and let's not kill yourself today. Okay? Then you're able to fold your box down. Do you see how clean that is? How much is a flat rate box? To purchase things through Whatnot or from USPS, are you asking? USPS flat rate boxes are free to anybody that goes in there and picks them up. For Whatnot, I think it's at $8.77. But I'll reuse this box is what I'll do. So I'm not destroying paper and not going to use it, guys. So I'll recycle it. The box you then cut it down and you're able to make a box smaller. Do you see how I did that? You just go every side, you cut it, and then they just fold over. It's perfect. So if you don't own one of these, here, take a screenshot. I highly recommend if you're going to sell on any platform to get one of these. Is it back? It's kind of backwards for you guys. Sorry.
It scores it.
It scores it for you and allows it where your box corners aren't all bulged out and funny. All right. So with Larry, we're going to use his phone as an example, okay? So you can't see it yourselves. We're going to add something just for shits and giggles for weight-wise. So we're going to add this, okay? I can't see it, so I don't know if they can see me. And we're just going to call it, oops, we're going to click whatever category you normally use, like you would normally list something. We're going to call it an egg, damaged, because it is damaged. The way someone doesn't try to buy it. If they want to, they can. So then you're here in the auction tab, so on and so forth. Then you're going to select your shipping. So this sucker weighs 4 ounces, okay? It weighs 4 ounces, but this item needs to be in a box by itself. So you're going to put it in a category, weighs 4 to 7. So that will meet enough there for you to be able to put this in its own box inside of another safe box. And then you're just going to publish your item like normal. But if you had an item, this item, for example, so anything between, basically anything that's 1 to 2 ounces, 1 to 3, 0 to 1, 1 to 3, 4 to 7, 8 to 11, and 12 to 15 ounces. Any of those above that are going to be ground shipping. You cannot use a flat rate or a priority box for either one of those items. So you have to have a box on hand that's going to accommodate those smaller items. Anything that's a pound or a pound over a pound is going to allow you to use a toggle it to make it a flat rate box. Has everybody got that so far, or am I really confusing you? Whatnot shipping is probably the most confusing thing about selling on Whatnot. And I don't think they mean to make it confusing for anybody. I just think that they tried to benefit the customer the most, which is absolutely fabulous.
Yeah, but you're going to want to add more ounces depending on the item.
Depending on the item, yep. Based off of items. So you want to at least add 3 ounces per item if you're going to individually box it. But when it comes to clothes, you don't need to do that because you're not going to individually wrap each one of these. So you're going to have one box and that's it. You're not going to have any additional boxes. We were talking about clothes, babe.
Okay.
When they asked that question. Any other questions? Sunkiss, do you have any questions or am I confusing the hell out of you? I'm doing great. It's hot as hell in here. And for example, with like Larry's video game stuff. When we ship a video game system, we make sure it cannot be bundled with anything else, and we always flat rate it if it fits in a flat rate box. You can use that. Can I see this? You can also, when you're adding something in here, I think this light, is the light good or bad? You guys like it like that? Light or no light? I feel like it's blinding the hell out of me. It's probably making me hot too. You always want to make a listing that's like this. So we're just going to make it game. I'm not adding it, Larry. I'm just doing a temporary.
It's all right.
We don't even do that. We're going to go straight to shipping. So right here at the top, you can do custom. You click custom, and then you can name it whatever it is, okay? Let's say Xbox. I don't think an Xbox even fits in a flat rate, does it, Larry?
Yeah, it fits. You
do your weight, which on something that's really heavy like that, we would just make it 2 to 3 pounds.
if you only know it's going to fit.
If you know it fits in the flat rate. That's the key thing. You need to check your items. Okay, so when you're looking at the light, no light. Okay. So you have to make sure the item fits in the flat rate box. That's kind of like, to me, a no-brainer. Like, okay, let me see. We'll just use this container. This container clearly is longer than a flat rate box, right? Okay. So here's a large.
You got your ruler?
Here's a large flat rate box. No. Let me show them this way. Large flat rate box. If your item does not fit in this large flat rate box, do you see how that doesn't go down in there? barely and it's like folded and it's touching the sides with no room to put paper, if you can't put paper between your box and your edge, it does not fit the box. The box is too small, okay? You have to have room to put paper on the edges unless it is individually boxed. If you put something in this box and then you put it in this box and it's touching the corners, you have space for protection. But if you put a gaming system and it touches edge to edge with no room to put any packing material, there's likely something hits the side of this box, it's going to get damaged. So you want to make sure that you're leaving room for stuff to be around your item and stuff. And clothings don't count. I'm talking about hard goods, glass, pottery, gaming systems. More examples, Larry.
Anything?
His figures, like his Spawn figure, are too tall. They weigh a lot, but they're not going to fit in this box. So sometimes you can't really save a customer money by making something weigh less because you're not going to be able to get it to fit. And why cut the corner and it don't fit to save yourself some money and them some money and risk it being broken when they receive it? Because bad reviews can hurt you faster than anything. Customers receiving things broken and damaged is going to hurt your business faster than you just losing money on an item or just paying for the additional cost of the box. Now, shh, this is the biggest secret on Whatnot, okay? Y'all ready to hear it? Ready to hear? Tell me in the comments you're ready to hear the biggest secret. I have 2 secrets. So, if you have a box that is larger than a 12 by 12, within reason, it can't be like a 27-inch box, okay? But if you have a box that's a few inches longer, and we do have some down here, these right here, this box right here is larger than a 12 by 12. See the way that it's shaped? It's more of a triangle. So
15 by 11.
It's 15 by 11 by 12. Okay? If you don't change the box size and you just make sure the weight is right, they don't measure the box when they get to the post office. Okay, guys? They're not checking it because they have such a large account, I guess, with Whatnot. They're not checking the box sizes. So don't change them if they're larger. Has everybody got it?
Smaller, change it.
Quit telling my secrets. Does everybody understand? If the box is larger than a 12 by 12 by 12, don't make it bigger. When I ship a flat rate box, this box is not 12 by 12 by 12. It's a 12 by 12 by 8. Leave it alone. Don't change it. Leave it alone. You don't have to touch the weight. If you toggle it to be a flat rate box, don't touch the weight. Don't touch dimensions. Whatnot there for a little while, if you change the dimensions even to make it smaller, they were charging you money. They fixed that since then. But here's another key kicker, okay? All Whatnot boxes are preset to a 12 by 12 by 12. Okay? Where'd my little box go? There we go. Hypothetically, I'm using this little tiny box. I only got some little stuff to go in it, okay? It's got some little stuff, like 2 little pieces of glass. I'm going to wrap them up, put layer paper between them, all around them, snuggled in like they're cold on a winter night, right? We're gonna say, shit, all that paper made my box weigh 5 ounces more or 10 ounces more, okay? Well, the upside about that box is if you take this box and you make it the size it is, like a 6 by 6 by 6, which is what this box is, okay? And your weight is off, Whatnot bases off like a circumference equation. So if your box size is smaller but your weight is more, I can almost guarantee you every single time it will not charge you any money. Would you guarantee almost every single time it won't charge you money?
99% of the time.
99% of the time, if your box is smaller than a 12 by 12,
it has to be within reason, though.
But it can't be like it weighs 4 pounds and the box is smaller. If you're off by like 4 or 5 ounces, they will not charge you because you made the box smaller. Does everybody got that too? Or am I still confusing everybody? Throw it in the chat if you want me to explain again.
It won't charge you or make you use an edit.
Yeah, it won't charge you and it will not make you use an edit. Larry and I, we screw up. We screw up. You're welcome. I mean, and you can always write me. I am a mom of 3 and I homeschool, but I will always write you guys back if you have a question about something. And I will be happy to help you. So if there's something that I told you and it's not working out, I'll be happy to help you figure out what I told you wrong or where the misconnection like came. Yeah, we homeschooled 2 4-year-olds and a 14-year-old, so it's challenging at times with that gap. But so if the box is bigger, we don't change the size. If the box is smaller and you're over on weight, make the box the size it is. That will help you with that overage on weight. I should have done this on Monday, but Mondays are so chaotic. That's okay, Cleveland. We can go over some more things. We'll recap towards the end, so just hang out. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. So if you're a new Whatnot seller, tell me something in the chat that you have had issues with shipping. Should have a 10-year-old. I'm 58. Yeah. Well, you know what? Learning at your age and my age is not the same. I've had some battles with with the teachers because they just assume that us older parents understand all this technology stuff, and I'm like, I didn't edit a paper like that, honey. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh my God, we have a math tutor. We literally hired somebody to help her with her math because it's mind blowing, and she's amazing. And she does Elizabeth does virtual too. So Johnson, if you want to write me, she does virtual training to teach students, and she's amazing. And she only charges $45 a session. I think that's cheap, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'll happily pass you. She lives here in Kentucky with us, but she does it all over the world, and she has a degree in math. She's never been a teacher, but she homeschooled all 4 of her kids, so she has a background in that as well. All right, any questions anymore about the shipping? So we're going to kind of recap. So if you don't have one of these, I highly recommend for you to get one, because if you have, for example, I've used this box for a vase at one point, and you don't want to have to use all that paper, okay? You need at least a good layer of paper. Let me show you what a good layer of paper on a box would be. Okay, we're going to use this little box as an example, just because it's easy to hold. Yeah, it's good. I'm telling you, you're going to use it a lot more than you think. Okay, so a good layer of paper in a box like this would be that much paper, okay?
Smash it down in there.
Smash it down in there. You shouldn't be able to fill your hand, okay? Then kind of make like a little nuzzle centerpiece for you to put your stuff down into. We're gonna say we're gonna use this as an example again, okay? Hypothetically, if I was mailing that little basket that I wrapped by itself, I would not put it in that other box. I would simply take it, the little basket, I would nuzzling down in there. Do you see how in the center there, I didn't tape this, so it would normally be taped. I guess I should tape it for instructional reasons. Let me tape it real quick so it'll stay. It's okay, I'm throwing this basket away anyways. It's got a chip on it. Okay, so there's our basket. That's what it normally would look like, okay? Wrapped all snugly. Then we would put it down in here, like that, okay? Then I would take more paper. This is recycled paper. Somebody else sent me something and Whatnot. This is what they use, and I reuse it, just so everybody can see real quick. I recycle. See, there's my bin with recycling. Those are all recycled. I got tons of recycled. So I'm going to have my box right here, and I'm going to snuggle this paper in around this piece of glass. Okay? So snuggled all down in there. I'm doing this one-handed, so cut me some slack. And then I'm going to put another piece of paper on top of that. Like that. And then your box should fold in with just a little bit of pressure and hold that box in place, okay? And another thing I always do is I always give it the shake test. You see how it's not moving? You don't hear anything moving around in there? You know it's safe. You're like, Katie, you could break it. Well, not if you wrapped it really well, it wouldn't break. You always do the shake test. So that's how you make sure a piece of glass is going to go really well and safe to somebody. The only way this sucker is going to get broken is if they smash this box. And that's a USPS issue if they do that. And then if you've got it, like I said earlier, if you've got it multiple items, you're going to put it into an individual box. You're going to wrap your second heavy item, and you're both going to go into small, thin boxes like this, safely snuggled into another box with paper still. So we're not going to throw just this box right down inside this box. We are going to take a little bit of paper out of there, and we're going to snuggle this box down in there with some paper. You would probably have to use a bigger box unless you had two of the same size boxes, but you guys get the point. So this would be safe. Even though this is butted up against the side, this one into another box right next to it, fit right there. Those two, that way they can't hit each other, because this item is really heavy, the other item is really lightweight. Got any questions? Let me flip you back around again. All right, let's see. Me and my friend came in late. Would you mind to please go over the flat rate boxes on small items? That's real quick. No problem. So, you cannot use a flat rate box for anything that weighs 15 ounces or less. It's going to come in on Whatnot. So it's tricky because Whatnot doesn't tell you in advance what shipping method they're planning on using. But anything, for your knowledge, anything 15 ounces or less is ground shipping for the customer, because it's the cheapest way to ship something that's 15 ounces or less. Anything that is a pound to 2 pounds will fit can be toggled to be a flat rate box in shipping. The only thing I can do is have you buy something for $1 from me and then cancel for me to show them. So anything that's 15 ounces or less is ground shipping. Anything that's over that, it can be toggled to a flat rate box. And then when you're shipping an item, so I wouldn't make everything a flat 1 to 2 pounds, because if they buy a 4-ounce item, they're going to be mad that you made them pay the $8.77. They're going to be mad at you. So you have to unfortunately use non-flat rate boxes sometimes. But they only pay, I think is it $8.77 or has it went up? It's been so long since I bought. It's under $9. I know that much. Under $9 for a flat rate box with Whatnot. Okay. And you can also do where, if you're going to use a flat rate box, and the item has to have a flat rate box, and they're going to put other things in there, and you're going to have room. So let's say, like these cars right here that we have. These suckers are freaking heavy. They don't look like they're a lot, do they? They don't look like they're very much, but they're pewter and they weigh a lot. This one car weighs 1 pound. Okay? So I would set this car to 1 to 2 pounds. 1, because you have to wrap it, right? You wouldn't want to just throw this in a box, because if you throw it in a box with no wrap, at least minimum paper, I would wrap it in a piece of bubble wrap. These little things would come off. They would bang against something through transit. I can do as best advice for you is act like you're putting it through a tornado. Has anybody else had that challenge when you were in middle school or high school? You had to mail an egg to yourself, and whoever got the egg to their house without it breaking, was the champion of the school that year? Or was I'm the only weirdo that had that happen in Kentucky? So, kind of set me up for good measures, I guess, too. I came in second. My egg had a crack in it. But these little things would come off if you didn't wrap this, if you just threw it in a flat rate box with some paper on the top and bottom. I'm so extra, I wrap everything individually with bubble and paper. That's just the way I am, because I would rather safely get it. And if you take that step to have that little extra care, if something does arrive broken, they're not going to accuse you. They're going to see that you did everything in your power to try to safely ship something to you. They're going to see that you had the efforts to care about their value that they spent their money on. Does that make sense? You're like, well, that really seems personal. A lot of people like to feel like they're special. I know I do. When I get something from somebody, I want to feel like somebody cared about me when they decided to ship me my item. not just threw it in a box and was like, whatever. Who just rated me? I can't even see who it is. Wild Bill, I appreciate you. We're literally just doing like a teaching lesson. Does anybody that just came in have questions about shipping or whatnot, or any tricks that I've learned over the last bajillion years of selling things? I primarily am a glass seller, and I'm trying to teach people how to do a little better. I do have a ton of stuff in my buy it now if you want to purchase something, but really I'm just giving advice, helping people out that are new, that don't have maybe the skill set or the understanding of how Whatnot shipping works. Oh, love, you didn't have to tip me. I'm doing this just to help friends that are new. That's all. That's simply it. Are you new? I think I follow you because I see your name. I've seen your name before. Why won't it let me click on your name? Here, let me see if I can use Larry's phone. The key thing is a lot of things is you just can't throw something in a box and let it ship on its way. I appreciate you. Let's see if it'll let me click on your name on Larry's phone. No, it doesn't like me on your phone either. There it is. Just let me see it. How long you been on here? Oh, you're a huge seller. I'm like a baby compared to you, at least on Whatnot. So that is ideal for you. Are you doing it like they buy one and one and one and one, and you're changing it to a flat rate, or they're buying like pounds of jewelry from you all at one time? It's over 15 pounds.
15 ounces.
I think he meant, okay, he had one. So it's 15 ounces. So each item is 15 ounces is what you're kind of setting it at. So yeah, if they buy enough, then you would be able to, if that one person bought enough jewelry, you would be able to switch it to a flat rate. If they don't, then you would have to make sure you were doing weight. I've never really had any issues. I always set my jewelry from 4 to 7 ounces, and I've never had, so this is where it kind of circles back around about the smaller box thing, okay? All boxes on Whatnot are 12 by 12 by 12. They're preset to be 12 by 12 by 12s. But hypothetically, you're using a 6 by 6 by 6, and all of your jewelry fits in it, okay? But your ounces are slightly off by like 5 or 6 ounces, right? Because a couple pieces of the jewelry weighed a little bit more. If you switched it to a 6 by 6 by 6, it would save a customer a little bit of money. Yeah, it would. It would probably save them. So hypothetically, they stayed at they only bought 5 pieces of jewelry, but when you took and done the box, it only weighed what, like, let's just say 6, end up only weighing 6 ounces, but you set all the jewelry to 15, so you're at what, like 45 ounces, and you're ended up with like 12 ounces that you don't need. Then they're paying more. And I don't really know how Whatnot works. If someone pays more than they need in shipping, does Whatnot give them their money back? I don't really know that because I don't know that end of it. I would assume they would, but I don't know, because do they have those checks and balances? Are they just, that's why you get charged what you get charged. So yes, you could do a little bit lesser weight. I think I make all of my jewelry 4 to 7, and I do have some larger pieces of jewelry. Let me show you a piece that probably weighs a little bit more than the average piece of jewelry. Like this is a vintage piece of jewelry. It's huge, kind of like Egyptian looking. It probably weighs more than 4 to 7 ounces. Okay, so unless you probably complain, they probably don't. So if they get up, so say, is that all, like you're just bundled it to 3 pounds all in one, or they just bought a bunch of pieces and equals up to be 3 pounds? If it's 3 pounds, you can flat rate it. Always use a flat rate box if you can. It's going to save you money. It's going to save you boxes. But there's two evils though, because like a medium flat rate box, you only got like 4 things going in there. This is the smallest box they have. You end up using a bunch of packing material, but you can use smaller boxes to fill in that space. Yeah, they're starting to push a little bit more back on the sellers about making sure they're doing things correctly, and they should be, you know. They should take the seller accountable for sure. I mean, I definitely think they should. I don't think that they should but it's the same extreme. They shouldn't let a buyer abuse a seller either. I've had that. I've had to block somebody where they were reporting stuff where I was repairing things that I was not repairing. That's just the way they were. I didn't do anything to the jewelry. They said I did stuff to it and whatnot. Kevin gave them their money back. I took the risk to get the bad review and I blocked the person. All I can say is if you feel uneasy about a sale and the communication between you and a buyer, if you feel it, block it. And I'm not saying block customers. Like, sometimes you have to, though, because they abuse you and they'll continue to abuse you and get you in trouble. So, and eventually it will just end up hurting you in the long run. So just let them go. And this was a seller that I had that would spend $90 to $100 with me every week, but she kept reporting that I was selling her jewelry that was repaired, and it wasn't. It was just old, and I didn't know what it originally looked like. I didn't Google any of it. I didn't even know what it was supposed to look like, but she Googled and imaged it. Something was different than what the original photo, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, and that's why I decided to do this. This is why I decided to do this. And if you guys, need me to do it again because you have more questions, I can definitely do it on a Friday night. We're done camping and I can go literally ship my items with you guys if you want from the sales that I have from the Thursday before. I typically do shows on Thursday nights, so I could totally go over physically how to ship things. It's going to be annoying as shit because you're going to hear this the whole time. Yep, it's going to be. But if you want me to show you, I can physically show you how I break things down, how I ship things, how I meticulously stack a bajillion little boxes. But I would come to that show. Some people don't like that tape noise. It drives them nuts. It's kind of like crinkling paper in my YouTube videos. People hate it. Lot description, all pre-owned may be broken. Yeah, if I can know something is broken when it comes to jewelry, I tell the person, like, this looks repaired. Sunkissed is with me every single week. I think she's been with me like since I started. And Looney Lady's been with me. Tiki's been with me for a long time. If I mess something up, I literally will write you and said, hey, I realized this had a chip. Didn't realize it in the live. Do you still want this item? I will write you. And if I don't get a response from you, I will send you something as I'm sorry, to say, I'm sorry, I screwed up. I'm not going to say, okay, well, fuck it. Hopefully they don't notice it, whatever. I'm not going to do that because I don't feel like that's fair and I wouldn't want somebody to do it to me. So, and I'm a true believer of that. Don't do to others that you don't want done to yourself. Any other questions? I'll be happy to answer any other questions. The biggest key thing I can honestly say is to be conscientious of shipping things that are not shippable together. And if they are not shippable together, that you're individually boxing them. It is so important. Like, I literally keep all kinds of boxes. Look, I just got Christmas ornaments in this box, and I'm going to use this box to ship something to somebody in it. Okay? I got boxes all over the place. I keep them. All of them. I just bought a bunch of these, and I'm going to keep these boxes. Would I ship something in these to somebody? No, but I would definitely use these for inside of another box. Yeah, I do the same thing. I have some bundles right now that in my buy it now that are like 2 to 3 pounds of jewelry that is all wearable. I've ran it through a couple of my shows and it's not moving for me. So I think I put it in there for like, I don't know, I think $18 for 3 pounds of jewelry, all wearable. all good jewelry. If I know it's craft jewelry, I bought off of Whatnot one time from a very big seller, and I paid $115 for some jewelry, and I got it all, and it all should have been in the trash. It was all craft jewelry. I was very disappointed. So you just have to learn and gain people's trust, and how you're going to gain people's trust is packing things well and being as honest as you can, and not when someone does write you and they're not happy about something, don't get defensive, because maybe the lighting wasn't great. They couldn't see it as well, or maybe they have visual issues. So take that in consideration when someone does complain, to grow as a person that maybe you can improve upon. The person that kept getting mad at me about the jewelry, I'm more meticulous about explaining things now. And I wasn't in my early days of jewelry selling. I didn't explain. I don't know nothing about jewelry. I'll be 1000% honest with you. I've been selling jewelry and Whatnot probably for about 7 months, and I still don't know half of what probably Tiki and Sunshine knows, or Sunkiss knows, not Sunshine. Sunkiss knows. They know more than I do. Some of our viewers come in, they can tell us where something is because we don't remember where it was. Because they come to our shows all the time and they check the stuff out, and maybe they're eyeing it and they know where it is on the shelf. Any other questions about shipping? There's a Christmas ornament hiding down there. Oh. Glass items that are not equal in size and weight. So something like this that is very bulky and heavy should not be put in a box with something that's thin ceramic like this. You see this? Watch what happens. Did you see that? That's what's going to happen in the box if you do not wrap this individually. Even if that had bubble on it, bam, those little flowers are just going to keep popping off of there every time this moves around the box. And they're going to get it, and it's not going to have no flowers on it. It was already chipped, so don't get mad at me. Right. It is. I recently had a customer get mad at me because Whatnot didn't respond to them about a return. They didn't like the jewelry that I sold, blah, blah, blah. I took the negative review. I responded accordingly. Like, if they go back, I asked them to go back and watch the playback. They told me I was stupid. I didn't know what I was talking about, blah, blah, blah. So some people, no matter what you do, they're still going to insult you, and it's your fault regardless. But those are the customers, I mean, you don't want to keep selling to those customers, because they're going to continue to cause you an issue. I don't know how many reviews I have. Their review is the total opposite of everyone, like everybody. So your buyers are going to see that. Right. Fool me once, not twice. Your buyers and your regulars are going to know that. I have people come in and tell me thank you in my chat the week after they buy something, because they like that I cared about them and shipped it well. And I won't ship something if it's not safe. Do not ship it if you don't feel it's safe. Unbundle it. Take that little bit of a loss, because that customer will come back, because they will appreciate you. Another big thing is, other than that, is something I'll recap with, because I think that Cleveland, are you still here? Because I don't want to go back over this and bore people, but you weren't here when I explained it. About the box sizes, if a box is too big or too small, or how to adjust it with Whatnot. Any other questions for anybody? I have new Christmas. Or come tomorrow and get some. I got this new tree that Larry got me too, that I'm covering with ornaments that'll be here tomorrow. Isn't it really cool? Yeah, it's made of styrofoam. We bought it in an estate sale. Yeah, so Christmas is doing really well for me. Hey, Sunkissed, how'd your ornaments arrive? Were you very appeased at how much work it took you to get out of those boxes? People tell me all the time, it's like they open the one box and they say it's like Christmas because there's so many boxes inside of a box. None of them were broken though, were they? And so Sunkist last week bought about, I think, a dozen shiny bright Christmas ornaments. Those bitches are fragile, like fragile. I would be honest with you, I'm pretty good at shipping, but to be 1000% frank with you, the one item in the world that I will refuse to ship, the advent calendar of packages. Yeah, that's right. Advent calendar of packages. I won't ship a snow globe. I've never attempted to ship a snow globe because that glass on top of a snow globe is so effing fragile, is insane. So anybody that is brave enough to do that, then to you. But I am not shipping a snow globe unless I have its original styrofoam. Now, cues to that, would anybody like to know a little trick that can help you if you have to ship something that you feel like is super fragile and you know that it's worth a lot of money? Because I've shipped stuff that's been worth a lot of money and I'm like, I'm scared to effing death to ship this thing. Okay? And I literally sweat bullets until it arrives and I know that it's okay. Only not because I didn't feel like I didn't pack it well, just because I know how brutal the post office can be regardless of how well I pack something. Use spray styrofoam. You pick it up from your local hardware store. You put your item, wrap it like normal in bubble, put it inside of a bag of some sort of Kroger bag. Usually I use oversized Ziploc baggies as my go-to to use. And then spray the bottom of your box, let the foam sit for a second, and then set your item on top of it, and then cover it again with styrofoam. And then all the person has to do is it'll pull apart for them once they get it. You want to make sure the bag is setting outside so they can see the separation point of when it comes apart. Would does a buyer like that? Probably not. They probably don't like it. But if you're shipping something super, super fragile, that's probably the safest way to ship it. Let's see if I can show you something that I have recently shipped that was a very expensive item. I didn't know what it was when I bought it. I just thought it was really pretty and was very fragile to ship. I do have to cover this up. It's a different platform, but I'm going to show you just the item. That's all I'm going to do. Oh, we're logged in under Larry. Let's log him out. He likes to steal my computer all the time. No, that's not what I want. This was an older sale, so I don't know if it's still going to be here. Give me just a second, guys. I'm pulling it up. Skip for now. I don't really sell too much on this platform anymore, so I don't really like them. See if it pulls it up. I'm still here, guys. Don't leave me. Trying to show you something. It's not working for me. Yeah, it's not going to show it to me, unfortunately. But I had a very fragile piece of glass that I had shipped, and it was intense. It was a very thin piece of glass, and it sold for $380. So you could imagine how I wanted to make sure this item did not break. Another thing that's super fragile, it did not sell. I sold it on another platform. I had it on here, but nobody wanted to pay what it was worth. It's called Milton Townsend. If you guys have never seen his glass, jot that down and go look. You'll be like drooling over it, I'm telling you. You'll be like amazed. Another thing that I would recommend too, like if you have, another thing that I've sold that I see a lot of people sell on here is Swarovski crystal. It is very fragile and it breaks very easily in transit as well. I've literally wrapped it and ordered it on myself and has arrived broken. No matter how well you wrap that stuff, because it's just glued together, unfortunately. So if you have a very intricate thing, you need to make sure. So another key thing with wrapping something, say that you're wrapping, I'm going to go grab a different piece of glass because this is a very smooth piece of glass. I want something that has a little bit more ridges on it. Give me just a second. I'm going to use my rooster, for example. Okay. Say you're going to pack this little cutie patootie right here, okay? You're going to pack him. Do you see how he has all these pieces sticking off of him? So this is glass, by the way. All those pieces sticking off him. So when you wrap him, and just so everybody knows, look at my station. It's not all beautiful and pretty like everybody is on YouTube. So your station looks like mine. It's because you're normal. So this is about the length I would use to wrap him. I'm going to wrap him. Yeah, and I had the mermaid with the long strand hair. Yeah. Do you see how little that guy was and how big this piece of paper is now? And how you can't really see his figure anymore. He's a little bit more curvy, like us women that's had babies. He's a little more curvy now. So then, okay, because he has all those points that come off of him, I'm super anal. This is how much bubble wrap he would get. Okay? He would get 2 and 2. He would get wrapped this way. Are you wondering, Katie, where do you get your bubble wrap where you can waste it like that? That's expensive. Do you want to know where I buy my bubble wrap? I don't go to freaking Walmart. Hell no, I don't. Then I'm going to wrap it like this, and I'm going to tape him up. We order from American Bubble Boy. We pay $47 a month for 4 rolls of it, and they ship it right to our house. We're on a subscription. You sign up for a subscription, they mail it to you every month, you get a discount, they ship it right to you. So that little tiny figure, here he is. This is what he would look like when I shipped him to you. He would be snuggled right down into a box. And the kind of the box sizes that you need for your item is based off the type of stuff that you're selling. So you just have to figure out what boxes. I like 6x6x6, 4x4x4s, and the other size that I like is a 9x7x6. Those are the 3 sizes that I keep in this house at all times. And I'm one of those people that if something's getting low, I always have a backup. Do I sometimes use my backup because sometimes the dumbasses Amazon doesn't deliver like they're supposed to, and things are supposed to be delivered on this date and they didn't get delivered, and then I use my backup and I run out sometimes. That happens. Sometimes I have to go to Walmart and buy supplies. Very, very rare. My bubble wrap. Look over there. Okay, don't mind the mess because it's messy. We just bought a bunch of shit. See my bubble wrap over there? 2 packs deep. 2 packs deep, and you've seen how much bubble I used. We also only do 2 shows a week. Some people do a show every single day. I mentally couldn't do that. I hate the packing portion of it. I'm good at it, but it's not something I enjoy doing. So, is something in shipping with a priority label? Does the post office supply all that stuff? That's something I heard. I don't know. Priority? Yeah, you can definitely get. I don't think they give you tape for free, or paper or bubble, but they will give you boxes. I'm not aware of them giving you anything other than a box. If that is something that is new to me as well. Somebody else said if you have a printing company near you, like a newspaper printing company, they will give you the end of the roll and you could go there and get it. I'm too busy to try to go hunt that, like, when I go to get my little boxes, I get it while I'm at the store. I will go to Target while I'm at Target or at Kroger or at Meijer, wherever I go, and they have little boxes. I stock up. The dollar store, they're always stocking stuff. I always just say, hey, you got any little boxes in the back that I can take? It prevents them from having to take it outside, so they're okay with it. I think the last time I went to Target, which was like 3 months ago, I walked out, people were looking at me like, what is this weirdo doing? I walked out with an entire grocery cart full of little boxes because they were inside stocking. And I walked up to him like, hey, can I have these boxes off your cart? I think they thought that I was going to take a few. I went to the front. My mom had the kids in the other cart with my 14-year-old. I went to the front and got a cart, and I came back and filled the whole cart. Yes, so you can have the boxes delivered right to your house. You can have bubble mailers, all of that. They don't give you tape, though. They don't give you tape, and they don't give you like bubble wrap. Like this type of bubble wrap is what I was referring to. Like Kentucky Coop. I don't know how long you've been in here hanging out with us, but I don't want, if you do it, that's you. This is your business. You do it the way you want, okay? I'm not going to judge you. Night, Patty girl. See you Friday. I'm not going to judge you if you choose to try to save some money by using poly mailers to ship glass. But I don't recommend it because it can be a bad decision on your part. If you're shipping something breakable and you ship it, you throw it in here. Okay, you take one of these, take this, drop it in there, and you do that number, and you ship it. What's going to happen to that? It's going to break. You can't do that. Even if you put it 2 separate items in there, you did it like this, it's still not going to keep that item safe. It's going to break. You need to use bubble. Will some items arrive not broken? Yeah, and that's what I was saying. Kentucky is that American Bubble Boy, the bubble wrap is more than reasonable. Like, and I don't know if all of you guys know, but that is a business expense. That is a business expense for you as a individual seller when you file your taxes. I'm not a tax person, but yeah, American Bubble Boy, look, girl. I'm in Kentucky too. I don't know if you know that. You get 4 of them. Let me walk over there a little closer. They come bubbled, free shipped right to your house. We had to bring a bunch of stuff in from outside because it was raining. And there's 4 rolls here. Under $50 to ship that to me. I use about a roll a week. I get it shipped to my house once a month. I use about a roll a week. So, and storage can be a problem for some people. So some people are like, well, that's not going to work for me. Well, you can put it anywhere. But, and the knuckly thing is like, if it gets wet and stuff, it's not a big deal as long as you let it dry. It's important though that you don't, jewelry's different. I mean, I sometimes will buy, like, my estate sales local to me will have like jewelry that they sold and they didn't put it back in their boxes. I will buy their boxes. If you go to a estate sale and you buy stuff from them, ask them while you're there, hey, do you have any boxes, little jewelry boxes, or little boxes that things were in that you guys just set in a room by themselves? You know how many times I went to an estate sale and they just loaded me up with these little boxes because they listed all the jewelry, they put tags on all the jewelry, and they didn't take the time to put it all back in the boxes? All the time. That's where this box came from. Just ask. You won't believe how many people will actually just give it to you. When I go to estate sales and I buy something, like for example, I just got this ornament. He's hanging out down here somewhere, and it's written on. Okay, somebody wrote on it. So I'm not going to sell this ornament because somebody wrote their name on it, unless somebody knows a Tim and Sandy, which is the odds of that is like very low. I'm not gonna hold on to this. This is going to the garbage. The box, perfect to put something in, to double box it, to ship it to somebody, to keep something safe. Bam, right down in there. Now he fits snuggled down inside of a box and it keeps him protected. Is this box completely undestructible? No, but it gives it a little bit support on the sides compared to not having it at all, and it bouncing around inside of a box and breaking. Any other questions from anybody? Kind of feel like I'm wrapping it up. Kind of repeated myself a couple times. I'm probably boring you guys by this point. See, my husband and I are a little lucky. We have a little bit of extra space. This is our basement, by the way. I'm in my basement. This is where we started all those years ago. We started right here in this basement. Technically, we started in our spare bedroom upstairs. Then we moved to the basement because I wasn't selling that many items. Whatnot's been a game changer for me. Things used to sit, and I think the first 5 months I was on Whatnot, my shows were slow as shit. But once people found out about me and found out that, you know, I think a lot of buyers and sellers are hesitant about buying things from people that they don't know how they're going to pack it. So hopefully this will help you guys help them. So I think that I'm going to peace out. I'm going to go read my book and cuddle in my bed and relax for a little while before I pass out for the night. I was up till 1:30 last night editing YouTube videos. So if you guys are wanting to support me in another way, is go over to YouTube and follow me. My husband's an international drug dealer. He is, literally. He just doesn't get to go to jail for it because he's allowed. And if you have any questions, of course, let me know. But go follow me over there on YouTube. Them little assholes are playing commercials on my show, and I don't get paid for it. Make them pay me. Go give me likes, follows, shares, and get people to follow me. I'll see y'all next time. Jen, Sunkiss, I'm sure I'll see you guys tomorrow night. And anybody else that wants to come hang out. You're never obligated to buy anything in our shows. You're always welcome to come hang out and just be a friend. Because that's what I consider all of you guys. Because I don't have real ones in life. Nobody really likes me in person. Alright, guys. Who are we going to raid? Anybody got anybody they know that's on they want me to raid into? Yep. Thank you for coming, checking out, trusting what I'm saying to you. Because I am genuine and very truthful. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. And if I can help you, I will. Privately or publicly, you can come to me. I will help you without any judgment. Yeah, always ask. Have a good evening. I'm going to raid you guys into somebody. Okay, let me raid into this person that Sunkiss just recommended. See if I can get it to pull up. Alright, we're going to raid into Hammy Vintage. I see you guys next time. Thank you for coming in and not making me talk to myself tonight. See ya.